Dokkan did it. We have both EZA details for the Fizz Metal Cooler and the AGL SSJ Duo. I can't believe they actually put these on top. Movie Bosses just did not need the extra help it was already getting, but here we are. And I'm very excited to have a look at what Dokkan has done. You can let me know your thoughts of both EZAs down in the comments. We are starting with Metal Cooler, who will recover 15% HP at the start of turn, have Ki +5 and 250% attack and defense, a chance to crit and damage reduction rate of 50%, and then for one time, a chance to crit and damage reduction rate of 30%. So that means on turn 1, we'll have 80% crit chance, 80% damage reduction, which is fantastic. And then launch an additional attack that has a 70% chance to become a super attack. So a very, very solid start. And do not forget as well, he'll be on a very stacked category like Movie Bosses. He will link with the most recent Dokkan Fest of Metal Cooler Army on the Movie Bosses side of things, which is kind of crazy. And he will also be buffed by not only LR Turles' domain, but also Cell Max's domain as well, with that 60% extra attack buff that he does give out. Then when HP is 80% or less, he'll recover 10% HP. Combine that with the 15% HP he just does as a standard. That's 25% HP that Cooler will be recovering. And this is where things get great, because not only is he recovering HP, which obviously means, hopefully, the less use of items. And not only is he starting off solid, so hopefully the rest of the kit is that way. But then you've got some really stacked units on the team where this team just kind of has everything. Kind of like Movie Bosses a few years ago with Broly. Revival, Domain, beefed up units, loads of damage. Movie Bosses basically is back in 2026. It is looking like it has everything once again. Then when attacking for the first time, the more HP remaining, the greater the attack boost within the turn. So, I mean, first turn, you're going to get that hopefully no problem. Then when receiving an attack for the first time again, oh no, that's attacking, that's receiving. Whichever floats your boat. The more HP remaining, the greater defense boost. And of course, the healing over here can kind of help you somewhat maintain that. You know, 25% in total isn't the most, but essentially that will take you back up to 100% HP. If you drop slightly below 80% HP, obviously it's different if you get absolutely clappered by a super attack and you go down to like 50, 40. I mean, the healing is still good. It's still nice. It helps you maintain HP, slowly build it back up, especially with same type orb healing. You know, that combined, it will actually make much of a difference. But if you actually literally drop below, just below 80%, this will recover your HP like back up to 100%, if not just below, which is very nice because it helps you maintain this. Then after receiving an attack, he'll recover 10% HP at the end of turn. So again, 35% HP in total if you drop below 80%, which again helps maintain HP, so you can keep the majority of this and be at almost full health. Then he'll gain Ki +4 and 100% attack and defense one time, but indefinitely. Then when receiving an unarmed super attack, he has a 70% chance to nullify it. He'll also nullify it if the character's revival skill has been activated. So you have a 70% chance in general to nullify unarmed super attacks, but if you have triggered Cooler's revival, you have guaranteed nullification, which is really nice. Then when activating the active skill, you have 350% attack temporarily. Then after the character's revival skill is activated, 200% attack and 100% defense with guaranteed guard to go with the damage reduction over here as well, which is quite handy considering it's only 30%. Then damage reduction rate of 15% before attacking, starting from the next turn. The only thing is that means he needs to go in slot 1. And I mean, from what I'm seeing here, he does look really, really good. He looks really, really solid. But is it going to be enough to slide him into slot 1? Because then you're looking at what? A total of, you know, guaranteed guard, what? 50% damage reduction, so 65% in total. Is it going to be enough? I mean, he does get quite a bit in terms of stats. I mean, if you want to trigger the revival, bang him in slot 1, especially if he doesn't survive, because you'll force it, which is good. Because don't forget, Metal Cooler's revival is a little bit annoying and a little bit finicky. He has to be the one to be KO'd to trigger his revival. So he's going to be half the one being put in the one to the line of fire, which again, just popping in slot 1 can help you do that, but sometimes it doesn't always line up that way. So this is the standard effect, like I just mentioned, when the character is KO'd, when the ally is KO'd. They've changed it. They've actually changed it. When the character is KO'd, so it's actually him, or when an ally is KO'd. Hold on. Reading. When the character is KO'd or when an ally is KO'd, if there is another ally whose name includes Cooler's armored squad excluded attacking in the same turn, revive with HP fully recovered. So they've actually changed it. I'm a big fan of this. So not only is Metacooler the one to die that can trigger it, obviously, there can also be an ally who's KO'd. But if there is another ally whose name includes Cooler attacking in the same turn, so that means your Fizz Final Form Cooler counts. That means another version of Metacooler counts. Metacooler Army counts. As long as there is a Cooler unit attacking in the same turn. So also that can include this Cooler himself, but he doesn't have to be the one to die. You can trigger the revival and recover with full HP, which completely, again, it's back, removes the fact that you need healing items, which, I mean, we don't really bring anyway. If anything, you're bringing Whis, maybe Ushers, but the healing helps, and then without using items in general. But the fact that they changed, I'm pretty sure they changed it, because I'm pretty sure it used to just be Cooler has to be the one to die. I like this change a lot. Then if you actually take him into survival, when the character is KO'd, again, you will also revive with HP fully recovered. And then moving on to the 12 key, he will raise attack and then greatly raise defense by 50% for one turn. So this will be 30, this will be 50, and they will also greatly lower attack as well. Then on 18 key, will massive raise attack by 100% and greatly raise defense by 50% for one turn and massively lower defense. So Cooler looks really, really good. Also a big help. He actually goes on one of the best categories in the entire game right now, especially with Cellmax coming out with that crazy movie boss support in the domain. And as I said, already just going on a stack team with Metacooler Army. But now we have the LR SSJs, who hopefully Dokkan have done justice, because when they first dropped, they were a little underwhelming. They were a little underwhelming. They were pretty much done within the first 3 months, which is kind of crazy to think, because they were like the current LR at the time. So hopefully Dokkan has done them justice. So they're starting with key +5, 250% attack and defense, and have 30% damage reduction. They will receive an additional key +1 per attack keys through obtained. Launch an additional attack, there's a 50% chance to become a super attack. Then for 4 turns from the character's entry, 150% attack and defense, guaranteed additional super, and 70% damage reduction. That's fantastic that you're boosting my security for free. Don't really care at the moment. Anyway, that means they'll have, for 4 turns, a total of 70% damage reduction, which is great. And then they also have 200% defense and 20% damage reduction before attacking to round out the 4 turns from the character's entry. So that means Dokkan is basically saying that these guys should be able to go in slot 1. So for 4 turns, SSJ Goku and Vegeta should be a slot 1 unit. So that means they have a total of 90% damage reduction, which is great. But we know unless you have some defense to go with it, it's not necessarily enough nowadays. And I'm seeing 250 attack and defense here, 150 here, then attacking with 18 key or more, an extra 150 here. I mean, that's what, a total of 550% attack and defense with 90% damage reduction in slot 1. Oh, and also 200% defense here. My bad, I missed that. So that's what, 750% defense specifically with 90% damage reduction in slot 1 for 4 turns. I feel like they should be okay in slot 1. Maybe against certain enemies, they might take a little bit more in terms of damage, but I do think they could be a slot 1 unit. I'll have to test that in game, but I feel like they should be okay. Then when on the character's next attack in turn, after performing 3 or more super attacks and receiving 5 or more attacks in battle, which, I mean, if you put them in slot 1, should happen in no time. Not to mention they also have a not guaranteed, but they have an additional attack here. They have additional guaranteed super attack here. Your base one, anything coming out the hidden potential system, you're looking at like 4 or 5 super attacks. Or lots of either or conditions. I like this Dokkan. So you've got 3 or more supers specifically. You've got 5 or more attacks in battle, then you got or when 3 or more movie heroes category allies are on the team starting from the 5th turn. I like the fact that we've got a decent amount of conditions in there. They'll receive the morale boost, which is essentially their costume change. Basically, they free the nip. You will greatly raise attack by 50% and raise defense by 30% for 1 turn on the 12 key. Then 18 key will greatly raise attack and defense by 50% for 1 turn, and also greatly lower attack and defense as well. Then when you have the morale boost, you have the costume change, you have the free the nip, you will have key +5, 300% attack and defense, just a base 70% damage reduction with no conditions, which is great. Receive an additional key +2 per attack keys retained, and a guaranteed additional super. What I don't mind about this is the fact that this won't take long to get, so it's not like you have to slog it out, kind of have them be really fragile, then finally get this and they get good. They do start really well. Dokkan have done a good job at actually making them usable before the morale boost. And now essentially you get everything for free without too much of a condition. Then for 1 turn from the character's entry, you have 20% damage reduction. So essentially you keep the 90% damage reduction. The only thing is you don't have to be in slot 1 for it. And you only keep the extra 20% for 1 turn. Which again is still quite nice, but it does mean you can put them in slot 2. You can super, get the SA effect bonuses, and have all that damage reduction. So they'll be even more boofed up, especially with the extra stats. Then when attacking with 18 or more ki, they have an extra 150 attack, 50% chance to crit. When receiving an attack with 18 or more ki, an extra 150 defense. Then when activating the active skill when attacking with 24 ki, an extra 300% attack and 150% defense. You'll have guaranteed crit and a guaranteed, not guaranteed, you'll have launch an additional attack. There's a 70% chance to become a super attack. Then starting from the next attacking turn, you get 500% attack temporarily if facing only one enemy when attacking. So it does look like the morale boost is more of an offensive side of things, which I'm completely here for, considering they do still have that 70% damage reduction and the 20% for 1 turn. They should be doing a lot of damage, especially this. I know this is only 1 time, but especially with this. On that first appearance, that is going to pop off, especially when you have a guaranteed crit on 24 ki. That's going to do so much damage. Or even if you have the 50% chance you don't get 20 ki or 24 ki or more, you're still going to do some really good damage nonetheless. I mean, I know you miss out on 300% attack, but this especially, but in general, they're going to be doing a lot of damage, especially when they have a base super attack, guaranteed additional. Then they have a 70% chance of another additional if you hit the 24 ki on active. And then again, you've got the hidden potential system taking up to 4. They could do some really, really good damage, especially with guaranteed crit on that as well. Dokkan, you've done a very good job at actually making these two usable. Not to mention as well, Movie Heroes got a little bit of a buff, especially with Tech LR Beast Gohan, but they've got some good units they can surround themselves with. So Dokkan, you have done a great, great job of actually making these guys usable. This year has had some really good rebirths, you know, Fizz Raditz, these guys. There's another unit that I just can't think of off the top of my head at the moment, who just kind of came back, who wasn't really too much of a thing when they first come out. Thank you. Because I said, these guys, when they first dropped, they were not it. They were so underwhelming. They were gone within the first 3 months. Now, they're usable. And then Metacooler Army looks crazy, and he's going to be on the one of the best teams in the game, one of the best Dokkan Fest in the game, with crazy support and crazy domains with the LR Maxes coming out as well. But let me know your thoughts of both EZAs down in the comments. Who do you like? Who do you prefer? Let me know. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.